All right, so we have an update today in the market. Again, in the short term, it really means nothing, but any big move in the market allows us to make a move to not only protect our investment, but to leverage ourselves for greater investment. So today, it looks like we went up 12.75%. So we gained about $2,000 today. And let me turn off my email. So really what that means is we had, if we go back to our stock screener here, these are all the ones that we sold, and we'll talk about some of these today. The ones were early on, Groupon I got free. American Airlines, United, and Norwegian Cruise Lines I bought early, not realizing how far the market was going to go down. So we still have a little bit of a down on those, but I'm not really too worried about that. We're actually going to touch on one of these today. But what it enabled us to do is get back into a gain territory for some. So for TWO, it put us in a gain territory. It reduced the red in these three, and it put these two, I believe, back into a gain territory. So overall, we're down 8%, but it's mainly just due to these for the most part. I mean, we're at 42% for BHR, and we'll talk about that today. So really the goal that we want to have here is we want to reduce, we want to get this cost basis down as low as possible. So one of the things that I did is I have some buy limit orders set up and some sell limit orders. So one of the things I looked at is I had Red Robin and Dave & Buster's, and I had those in at a $6 cost basis. And so, I mean, that's just a great low price. But what I wanted to get is some liquidity so we can have some money to play with. So I put in basically a sell order at $8.50 and $11.06, basically $11 for those two, and freed up about $1,300 to play with. And then Every, which does ATMs for casinos. So they're in a really, really good position. I bought those at, let's see, where do we buy those? Bought those at $2.25. And again, I do not take losses ever. I mean, it's just not going to happen. I will not allow it. I'll hold it till I die. So went from $2.25 to $3. So we freed up about $1,300 on top of that. So now we're about $2,600, $2,650. And then Aduro, which I've just had forever, started out at about 220-ish. I bought it for 217, and I just said, look, I'm going to put, if it gets up to 275 today, I'll sell it. So we did a limit order, and all of these just barely hit that price, triggered the limit order, and then went right back down. So we freed up a good what is it? 1,300, 2630, 2680. Yeah, about $3,300 in free cash. So at this point, we wanted to look at the cost basis for some of these guys. And so the ones up here above the yellow are ones that I had limit orders for. So SSL, which is let's pull this up here. SSL up here? No, let's do this. SSL. See if it doesn't recognize it. Okay, it's down here somewhere. So let's find our SSL. There it is. So this is Sassel, and they're up 16% today, by the way. So the idea is this, is right now it's sitting here at, I have it over here. We're going to get to this screen shortly. It opened the day at 213. It's sitting here at 255, which is great. If it goes up, that's fine. It's not a big deal. I don't own any of it right now. But if it ever goes down to 135, which very well could happen, I have a limit order trigger to buy basically $500 of it. CEQB, QP, which is Crestwood Equity, something. Basically, it's a REIT. It's a real estate investment trust. I have that at cost basis of 501. It's currently at about 426. So if we look at this over here, it's 426 right here. basically I'm hedging it, saying if it goes up, that's fine. It'll eventually make me money on this for sure. But if it goes down, I have a limit order to buy more of it because I believe in it at $3. So just basically $4.50, not much, but I'll definitely take it. So the idea of this is to basically lower the average cost basis from 501 down to about $4 overall, which is the long-term goal. And then when it goes up, all the shares appreciate over that average cost basis. Norwegian Cruise Lines, we talked about this one. So this one's down 61%. That sector is just getting hammered. So I bought it at 26, and let's see, where were we on this one? Norwegian Cruise Lines. It was at 50 right before everything happened. It went down to 26, so I bought it at half, and now it's at 10. And so I was looking at this, and they have, I put a 59 here. So if we look at Norwegian Cruise Lines, we'll open this up. And one of the things I look at, and I think they get this off Zacks. So analyst ratings, 59% of the people are saying to buy, 41% are saying to hold. Nobody is saying to sell. So I looked at that. That's where the 59 comes from. And I realized that the upside of this, basically the difference between the February 20th price and today's price is about 6 to 1. So for every $1,000 I invest, I would basically come out with close to $6,000, which is amazing. So I was looking at this at 26, and normally I just, you get mad because you want to make money on everything all the time. But again, this is a long-term play. But I figured if it goes down to $7, and right now it's at 10, for whatever reason, if it goes down to 7, I'm definitely willing to put in some more money. So I have a limit order to buy 616, meaning if it ever hits 7, it's automatically going to trigger a buy, and it's going to lower this average cost. All right, so that's kind of where we were basically in the last, I guess, the end of last week. And then over the weekend, I decided I wanted to look at ERI, which is Eldorado Resorts, and they're about to buy Caesar's Palace. So this stock is going to go up one way or another. So I bought it at 1206. It's currently at 1390. It's making me a 15%. And this isn't even annualized, just 15% over the last month. So I said, okay, well, if it goes up, that's great. Then I'll sell it at 16, free up some money and reuse it. And that's where this limit sell order is. And if it goes down, I want to buy more of it. So I'm going to buy another 150 shares, which is actually more than what I have right now up here, for $9.75. So it's kind of an iron condor, I think is what they call it. But basically, we're gonna have something good happen no matter what happens to the price. Every, which is like petroleum and natural gas and things like that, if I remember right. Right now, that is sitting here. Let's see, did we sell that one? Yeah, we liquidated this one to free up some cash. We bought it at 225, sold it at 3, and then if it decides to go down to 2 for whatever reason, then I'm going to get it cheaper than what I had before. Just a small amount. I think it's because my cash limit was there at some point. I'm probably going to actually increase this out. So let's do this. I'll have you guys watch before we do this. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to Every, just somewhere. There it is. All right. All right, so we're going to go here. This is a limit buy placed for 146. It's at $2. And how many shares was that going to be for? 146 shares. All right, so we're going to cancel that order. I'm going to place a limit order in here for $2. And we'll just call it 300. That's 600. We'll take a look how many we want to buy. So we're going to go over to the candidates. I have this ranked by decreasing upside. And EVRI. Is right here. So the upside is 6 to 1. 100 people are saying buying it. Let's just double check that that's the same thing. Yeah, 100% ratings buy. So let's bump this up a little bit. And we'll take this up to, do you want to do 300? Let's do 400. Now let's do 500. And so that's going to be $1,000. And one of the things I did is I added the upside value. So if we take this amount, which is what the buy would be for, multiplied times the upside amount, this is the outcome. So on these limit orders, we're looking at, and we'll just, how much did we say that was going to be? This was going to be 500. So we'd invest 8,600, and if it goes back to February 20th, we come up with 63,000, which, gentlemen, ladies, this is why we're here. So let's do 500 at $2. Okay, we'll do good until canceled. That just means 90 days. This checking this box means you get to do it. If it trades overnight for that amount, it'll hit that, and then we'll hit buy, and we are good to go. All right, so let's take a look at, all right, so that's what I did over the weekend. And today I looked at the numbers, and again, every day I basically go through the Robinhood account and I update the share price before the market opens to come up with my upside. All right, and so I looked at IVR, which is Invesco. It's a real estate REIT. Invesco, again, has the naming rights to the Denver Broncos Stadium. Doesn't always mean anything, but I looked at that, and everybody's saying that of all the REITs, there's four REITs that are in really, really good position to thrive under this, and one is Invesco. So I looked at this one, and I currently have it at an average price of $290. It's currently at $246. I'm sorry, I bought it at $290. It's currently at $246. So we have the opportunity, if it, for whatever reason it falls down to $225, we're going to put a limit order in, buy 700 shares, and that's going to bring this sucker down to about $225-ish, which would put us in a profit if it comes back just to where it is today. So it allows us to lower this number, which is the name of the game. Another one, TRTX, is a very similar one. This one right here is, let's see, where do we find this one? There we go. All right, so this one, they do commercial real estate, and all the feedback on this was that they do really well leveraged commercial real estate. So they're not people that are like mortgaged to the hilt. They're basically really strong loan to value, 67% buy, and 33% hold. Nobody is saying to sell this. So when I looked at that and I sorted it, it was number 2 at 7.8 upside. So we decided to put 1375 in, 500 shares at 275, and let's see, and that would basically net us $11,000 if it goes back to February 20th. So right now, TRTX, do I even have it up here? Nope. So if TRTX, which is currently trading at 365, so it's not a big deal. If that goes down to 275, we're going to trigger that buy and buy it really low. Now, the other one that's one of the other four that's really slated to perform really well of all the REITs, and it's in a good place financial-wise, is this one MFA. So, and this one right here, if we looked at, let's go MFA. I think I own that already. All right, so let's let this open up. So this one has 27% buy, 71 hold, nobody's saying to sell it. So a little bit, we're doing this with a grain of salt. But all the ratings I had say that this one is poised of all of them to jump the highest. And so I looked at the Canada tab here, and it was number 4 overall at 7.85. So I decided, look, if it ever hits $1, right now it was at $1.16. So this is actually close. If it ever drops down to $1, I'm just going to throw a flyer on it. We're going to buy 1,650 shares, and we're going to lower this cost down to, I don't know, probably it'll be about $1.30 on average. But if this one returns to February 20th, it's going to net us, out of a $1,650 investment, it's going to net us $12,500. So we'll see. If it doesn't happen, again, if these costs don't go down, then these never take place. And on the other side, if they go up, we have Eldorado Resorts. It's currently at $1,390. If it goes up to $1,600, we're going to take $1,000 out and play with it. And hopefully the price goes down and I can buy it even cheaper. And then Invesco, if it goes up right now, it's at 246. If it goes up, then we're going to sell and clear some money there, have some money to play with. Now, one of the things that I looked at today is I'm always trying to figure out where the stocks are going to go the next day. So one of the things that I look at is we're going to go to the Dow futures, and we're going to see, we'll just say Dow Jones after hours trading. And we'll see what people are doing after hours. So we'll go to Money CNN, and that one is trending. I mean, it's basically dead even, but the money's not moving anywhere. I think part of it's the sentiment on thinking that the peak in New York and other places are over, so they're thinking that the market's probably hit the bottom and going up. I'm not entirely sold on that. So Jamie Dimon, and this is where I saw this before, says a major recession is on its way. So if he's wrong, then guess what? These stocks are going to go through the roof, and we're going to make a lot of money. On the other hand, you want to protect yourself. If you actually have here, and Jamie Dimon expects a bad recession, where GDP would go down 35% at an annualized rate. And he says this scenario is quite severe and hopefully unlikely. Then you want to be prepared for that. We want to be well poised for that. So that's why we want to have these limit orders generally be very low. So if the market goes down, let's say it plunges down. Right now it's at about, let's take a look here. It's at 22,700 roughly. Let's say it goes down to 18,000. We want to be able to get this as low as to the bottom as possible and buy low. And if it goes up, we're going to take a little bit of money, but we're going to buy low. So, so we're going to protect our downside here by being able to get dirt cheap stocks that are really, really good and well thought of and well recommended. And then here right now, if we decide to sell some stocks, we're clearing a great number right now. As we said in the little screenshot, I'm clearing 25%, and that's not even annualized. That's like over a month. So my annual rate of return, geez, that has to be 300% right now. But right now, we are taking all profits. We'll never take a loss on here, and we're well positioned. So if we're well positioned, so if the market goes up, we make money, and if the market goes down, we get the proverbial house on the beach for cheap. And then when the market goes up, that's where you make all your money. The people that make wealth make their money by keeping their cost basis as low as utterly possible and then letting the market catch up, because it will catch up. Other than that, I will see you tomorrow.